Hello, this is Marianne McGuire of Let Go and Know. It's lovely to be with you. So I like to get right down to the root of things because it engenders clarity, and clarity in life is powerful, both for your everyday living and for your soul's expansion. And it can really serve in practical ways. And when you boil it down to its essence, one of the most important choices you can make is to consciously choose where you place your attention, your valuable attention. Do you place your attention on your ego or on who you really are? Now, this question might sound esoteric, but really, it's hugely practical for everyday living. It affects everything. It affects everything. So we identify with thought, and this causes so much struggle. Spaciousness arises when you are free from that stream of thinking, the monkey mind, the mind chatter, that constant stream of, overthinking. This glorious spaciousness arises when you're free of that. And in life, you're going to experience what you identify with. So when you live from your conditioning, from your false self, what everybody else told you should be, then you'll experience the struggle that inevitably comes from that. It's about judgment and resistance. That pushing feeling, that feeling of thinking that you need to figure everything out and hold everything together yourself, while always striving, thinking that one day you'll be able to relax and then you'll be happy. When you realize who you really are, you'll shift from resistance and struggle to allowance, because you're living more from oneness rather than from duality. And this is what changes your life, your relationships, your health, your work. This is why I want to share it with you. It's so fundamental. And when you shift, you can become very compassionate with yourself and you acknowledge what is. And then from this state of openness and excitement and peace, paradoxically, you invite in new possibilities from the field of awareness. And remember, this field of awareness isn't outside of you. Even though most tend to reach outside of themselves, this field of awareness is what you are. There is no feeling of separation anymore. You know you are one with it. It's not outside of you anymore. So you won't feel that sense of separation, that feeling of loneliness at all when you make this choice to live from your truth, to live from awareness, the awareness that you are. So if you feel triggered, for example, or you just want to feel peace, you can ask yourself, am I identifying with love or with fear? So in that moment, you can ask yourself this hugely important question. Am I identifying with love or am I identifying with fear? If it's with fear, then you can drop down into your body, bring your awareness down into your body, into your heart, and then open up your awareness. And then you come from a more powerful place, not from thinking or from ego. And this is what engenders a flow state. It all comes from identifying with your truth and not identifying with your ego. Then your life can change. And by the way, just because you don't identify with your ego, it doesn't mean in any way you reject it. You have such compassion for that part of you that it begins to integrate into your being and you become lighter. And remember, as you're opening up to this experience of living from awareness, from who you really are, always remind yourself that even when you feel triggered or sad or lonely or stressed out, that your truth is always here. You're never alone, even when you're identified with your ego and your conditioned self. Isn't that so comforting? So just notice and ask yourself if you're identifying with thought. to the point where you feel taken over and there's just no space. And just acknowledge that and remind yourself that these are just thoughts and conditioning, and that the ego is a fabrication of the mind, circular patterns of thinking. And it's all based on separation. And separation is a fiction too. So are you identifying with the clouds or with the sky itself? With the content of your life, the thoughts, the stress, the problems, or with the vast spaciousness of who you really are? You know you are so much more beyond the labels you have and the thoughts you have about yourself. So what if you allowed yourself to begin to identify with that which you know in your heart and soul to be your truth? Freedom from your false self and separation and struggle comes from awakening to your truth. The truth of you being conscious spirit, of being divine love. Don't put so much power into ego. Don't give it so much power. It seems to be so powerful because it has such a hold. But in fact, it is just a pattern of thinking based on separation. And you are the ineffable, magnificent, and divine being behind it. So what are you waiting for? Why not let go of identifying with your struggle and venture into stillness so that you can meet yourself? Stillness is your natural state. Stop doing all the time, that incessant doing that we've all been through, myself included, and just allow so that the scintillating stillness can awaken within you. It's there already, but you become aware of it and start identifying with it rather than identifying with what isn't true. And that's when the magic begins. When you do this or be this, you can hear your intuition and receive clearer guidance. You become clearer, you feel fulfilled, you can access the wisdom of spirit with this choice. And when you begin to associate with who you really are, with divine love, then you stop associating with self-judgment and self-doubt, and the compassion you have for the parts of you that feel frustrated or overwhelmed. This compassion opens a doorway and you soften and you bring the frustration or whatever you're feeling into the present moment. You bring it to the light and to the love that you are, and so it's integrated and you are lighter. And then you can see that all of your thoughts and emotions are occurring within the spaciousness of what you are. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind your thoughts. You are the consciousness in which the content of your life is occurring. And when you let go and surrender control into that, there are no words to describe what that feels like. The ego energy is harmonized and melts into spirit. And in this union, you feel at one with yourself, made of love, no separation. And you keep experiencing it. You have to keep choosing to experience it. Keep choosing till you feel lighter and lighter. And what a way to live. What a way to honor yourself. Otherwise, most continue to struggle, to complicate things, always searching for fulfillment outside of themselves and feeling that something's missing from their lives. It's exhausting. And it's actually amazing. It's funny when I think about it. What I found out years ago was that all of the struggle doesn't actually exist when you connect to the light, to your truth, to the truth of what you really are. And it's all to do with where you place your attention. The magic's waiting for you. My thing is to live from awareness. It's what I teach people, from who you really are, while being grounded here on earth and enjoying your senses. So you embrace it all. You are not your past. Live from your truth. You are made of love. Love is the answer. Live from here. This is the home you've been searching for. I hope this has opened up an awareness within you. It's simply a divine, sublime way to live where you can open up to the fullness of all your emotions, the full spectrum, not just happy, happy, happy all the time, but of true joy underneath all emotions, because you know you're on a path, you know you're experiencing something special, you know that your soul is on a journey. Even when you're grieving, for example, you can feel an innate joy underneath that it's okay. There's no judgment there, and there's no repression. There's a peace underneath it all. Making this choice to place your attention on who you really are, I think it's the most important choice you can make, because it has to do with love fundamentally, and that is what you really are. That is your essence. So give yourself a little bit of time during your day to drop down into your heart, connect with yourself, and begin to become familiar with your own beauty, with the scintillating peace that lives within you and is beckoning you in every moment for you to surrender into it. And if you want to learn more about this, you can go over to letgoandknow.com. I have lots of free videos and support that can help you do this, be this. So until next time, much love.